Well, hi everyone. Thanks for coming.
I'm gonna get a little close.
Sure, please do get closer. I'm going to stay here just because we're getting recorded on the camera so we can post this on the website. But yeah, please come on up. Feel free to join. So I just wanted to start with you sharing with me what is one thing that your child loves about school. And we have the teachers are very nice and encourage students to learn. So thank you. And then learning new things and the teachers. I would agree. I love the teachers here. It's been really cool in this new role to see my staff just from like a different perspective and getting to see how hard they work, how much they care about the kids. It's just been really neat to see that. So thanks for participating, and I'm glad that it worked here because sometimes I know service can be a little bit sketchy in the building, but that's okay. So I know that you guys that are here know me, but I'm Mrs. Breaden. So a little bit of background about me. So I actually graduated from Center High School right up the road in 2004. I attained my bachelor's in sociology from St. Vincent College. I attained my master's in early childhood and elementary education from Duquesne University. And then most recently, I attained my principal certificate from Slippery Rock. And I was able to do that online, which was wonderful. So working full time and having a family, that was great.
Where's St. Vincent?
St. Vincent is in Latrobe, PA. I was trained to say it that way. I used to say Latrobe, and then when you go there, you have to say it Latrobe, or they get upset. So it's actually where the Steelers have their training camp over the summer.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there's a monastery right there. So some of the monks taught classes. It was pretty cool.
In the Pittsburgh area?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I have 14 years in education. I taught at Breaden Academy for 10 years. When I was there, I taught second grade and I taught fifth grade. And then my last year there, I dove into the world of specials and I kind of ran around the building. I taught theater, I taught creative writing, and I also taught a dance class. So I just had a backpack and I ran, but it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. And then I taught third grade here at Todd Lane for 3 years. This is my 4th year here at Todd Lane. I love it. So excited to be here. So a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong Center Township resident. I bought a house up the street from where I grew up, which I find hilarious because I thought for certain when I was younger that I was going to go far, far away, and I could not be happier that I stayed. So I've got 2 daughters, Lila, who is 7, and Kinley, who's 5. Some of my favorite things, I love coffee. I love golfing, especially when I beat my husband. I love being outdoors. I love to read. I love to play piano, sing, listen to music, and then spend time with my family and my friends. So this is probably the most important slide that you'll see tonight. So this is just my philosophy on education, and it's also sort of my philosophy on life. So the first thing, I believe that the world needs intelligent problem solvers who are kind communicators. So we need adults who can look at something, think about it creatively, and solve the problem as best as they can. I also think that customer service is a lost art, and I think that just teaching students and teaching children how to use their manners and how to communicate with each other and how to communicate with one another kindly is really important. The second big piece of this is that relationships matter, and that goes for everyone. So as a teacher, I think forming those relationships with students is one of the best things that I could have ever done. The best way to get a child to learn from you is for them to know that you care about them, and to know that you understand where they're coming from and where their strengths are, where their weaknesses lie. I also feel the same is true as far as building relationships with families. I don't think that it should just be something that you do in your classroom and you close your door and nobody really knows what's going on. I think parents should be invited to be in the classroom by communicating with them, whether it's through newsletters, phone calls, whatever it is. And then finally, now that I'm the principal here at Todd Lane, I think those relationships really matter with my staff. And like I said, that's something I've enjoyed, getting to know the staff on a different level. And building that relationship with the staff, I think, is the same as the students. You can encourage your staff to work hard for you if they know that you care about them and that you're invested in them as a teacher as well. And that goes not just for the teachers, but all the paraprofessionals, our substitute teachers that we have, the custodians, everybody that works in the building. I also really firmly believe that accountability leads to maturity, trust, and confidence. Something that I think is unfortunately being maybe a little bit lost in today's society is being held accountable for your actions and having that maturity to be able to say, you know what, yes, I did this, I'm sorry, let's make it better. It's easy to take accountability when you do something right, but taking accountability when you do something wrong is a much different story. And I think that's something important that we need to teach children how to do, and maybe encourage some adults to do it as well. I also firmly believe that reading is one of the most beneficial life skills to have. I mean, you know, as adults, navigating your world, right? Paying bills, deciding whether a piece of mail is important or not, reading through pieces of information that come home from school, all sorts of things. And, you know, and the way that we teach math today, it's not the way that you and I learned math. If a student can't make their way through a word problem, then the numbers don't really mean anything. So they really, I feel that students really have to have that strong foundation for reading. And something that I feel that families can do at home is foster that. I mean, I'm a mom myself, like I mentioned earlier, and every night I read together with my girls, and I didn't do anything magical. I didn't teach them phonics. I didn't do any like explicit instruction with a board or anything like that. I just read books to them. And now my daughters read books to me. And that's just been the coolest thing to see as a parent, and knowing that they have that knowledge and that they can take that with them wherever they go just makes me feel really comfortable, really confident. As a principal, I mean, as a teacher, but as a principal, I feel that data is informative and it should be used to guide instruction. So something that I'll share with you later on in the presentation is one of my goals is to get into the classrooms, be looking at assessment data, whether that's assessments that we get in the classroom or things like the MAPS tests that we take or the PSSAs. What do we do with that data? What does it mean? How can we use it to inform what the teachers are doing in the classroom so that we're not wasting time and we're giving the students what they need? I also believe that every child is lovable. We have students every year that are really easy, and then we have students every year that maybe try our patience a little bit, but I think it's important to dig deep and find something about that child that's lovable, again, to form that relationship. And then also part of that, every child loves something about school. So that's why I had you fill out that survey whenever you came in. Even if it's recess or lunch, like if their favorite subject is lunch, great. That's a starting point. We can go from there and, you know, build on that. So my student philosophy is super easy. We ask all of the students to follow the warrior way. You know what that is, yeah? So we want our students to be ready, be respectful, be responsible. As a teacher, and I'll continue this as a principal, I have high expectations for both classroom conduct and for academic performance. And I'm always pleased to find that students rise to the occasion. When students hold themselves accountable, I think that learning and then teaching can be fun. So we celebrate our student successes, we address challenges, and then the nice thing about this too is it's nice and easy for the students to remember, and the bottom line always is safety first. We do what's safe, and then from there we can learn and we can grow. So my staff philosophy, what would I expect from my staff here? Two simple things: support the students and communicate with the adults. So supporting the students, that means giving them what they need instruction-wise in the classroom. Sometimes that means giving them something else. Sometimes that means giving them a hug, giving them a listening ear. It means looking at where you can help students grow. It means looking at students who perhaps need enrichment in an area and being sure that they get that as well. Meeting the students where they are and providing what they need. That includes making sure that we are following and accommodating all of the things that are necessary in any documents that we have on students, whether that's IEPs, 504s. That's our main goal, is to support the students. And then also I ask of my staff to communicate with the adults. That includes me. That includes all of the colleagues that they have, making sure that everybody's on the same page and they're communicating effectively at meetings and getting things done. And that also means you, the families. I want them communicating with the families regularly so that nobody has any questions or any wonders or any worries, and that the adults that are in our community feel comfortable going to the teachers if they have a concern or if they have a question. So with that, I also have a family philosophy. You'll notice it's really similar. So I really ask, as you know, families here of Todd Lane, please support your child, support your student. Like I said, do what you need to do to help them at home, whether that's homework, whether that's reading practice, whether that's extra practice for math. Please make sure that you are, you know, doing everything that you can. And I know that that can be hard sometimes. Again, as a mom myself, I'm working, my husband's working. Something that works for us really well is having a routine. We do the same thing almost every night, and that includes the nights that we have activities, because I want to make sure that my kids are well rested and ready to go for school, because school is the most important thing. And then also, like I said, we ask that you communicate with the adults, communicate with us. If there is an issue but we don't know about it, we can't resolve it. So please let us know. My personal rule, I suppose my personal rule of thumb for communication is if I don't get back to you within 24 hours, that means I did not receive your communication. So please write a different way. In fact, I just had that happen today. I had a parent that had been emailing me and all of the emails were going to spam. And I apologized to her and I said, if that happens again, please call the office, let me know. You should never be waiting this long on communication from me. Go back here, there we go. So not to get too deep into it, but my mission for Todd Lane aligns with the mission, vision, and the shared values of the district. And I provided a link here. So this slideshow will be accessible online, but you can click it and it takes you right here to About Central Valley, where you can see our mission, our vision, and our shared values. And I intend to incorporate those in everything that I do here at Todd Lane. Let's see if it will let me make this bigger again. So my goals for Todd Lane, my immediate goals for the 2025-2026 school year are to maintain consistency because I did take over this role, mid-year, and I want to make sure that everything is kind of like smooth sailing. So keep things as simple as possible. My other goals this year are to just listen and observe and communicate. I want to learn about things. I want to learn about how the grade levels work. I want to learn about how all the systems work and observe how our students interact with each other, how our staff interacts with the students, and to communicate with people so that I can make decisions that are best for everybody, for the upcoming school year next year. Specifically, my goals in academics, first thing here is to review that PSSA data. It just came in. And then I plan on attending the grade level meetings. Teachers have grade level meetings in the mornings every week. And I'd like to go in, first of all, just to see, how they're doing, if they need any help. And then to make sure that I'm going over that data with them and showing how can we look at that data and use that to, again, support the instruction in the classroom, as opposed to me just saying like, well, here's the data, good luck. I want to go in and actually give them specific strategies and ways to go about it so that they can feel supported. And then we recently kind of finished our whole implementation here at Todd Lane of the CKLA Amplify curriculum for reading and the Eureka curriculum for math. And I want to ensure that those both are being implemented with fidelity in the classrooms. Again, if teachers feel like something's missing, that's where I can come in and provide that help and show them how they can use this, appropriately, and use them every day. As far as communication goes, now that Parent Square is up and running, woohoo, I will be communicating mainly through Parent Square if I want to get something out like as a blast to everyone. The nice thing about Parent Square is I think if you've signed up already, you see that there's a feature where you can message teachers individually, you can message me individually. So that's kind of a nice thing as well.
Are you going to be going through that?
Parent Square?
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, I know you got something set up later. Yeah.
It will be, yes, that's a great question. So next Tuesday, I think it's December 9th, at 5 o'clock here at Todd Lane, we'll be having a Parent Square event for anybody that would like to come and ask questions and get their account set up. Power School is a great way to communicate. I know in middle school and high school in particular, that's a great place where the parents can go and they can view student assignments, they can view grades, they can view attendance, all sorts of things like that in Power School. And then as the students get older, Google Classroom is a great way to look for that information as well. Google Classroom isn't really a platform for you to communicate with the teacher. It's more of a way for you to see what your child is doing in school. So they can open that up and show you. My 5-year-old showed me how to log on for our kid day that we had yesterday. I was like, okay, open up your iPad. And she said, no, Mom, I got it. I'm like, all right, you got it. So they can probably navigate it better than we can. And then my goals for the culture here at Todd Lane, I feel like culture really drives, the success of whether it's a company, a building, even a home. So my plan is to visit classrooms and lunches daily. That's what I've been doing. I want the students to know that I'm there to support them. I want the teachers to know I'm there to support them. I also want them to know I'm around. You never know when I'm going to pop in. So students, please make sure that you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like I mentioned earlier, I hold students accountable for both their academics and their behavior. So I love a student that comes to school and that works hard and that does their best. That's all that I ask, is that you give your best every day. You try to be a nice person and you work hard on your classwork. And that's really it, just those two things. As principal, I plan on maintaining our SWIBIS and our SAT program. So SWIBIS is where that be ready, be respectful, be responsible comes from. It's where the gold tickets come from and the blue tickets, the prizes that we do for that, that's all part of our SWIBIS program. So it's just positive behavior, just positive reinforcement for the students. And then SAP stands for Student Assistance Program. That's something that we provide here at Central Valley. We have a team here at Todd Lane, and we meet bi-weekly, and it's just a place where we talk about students who have barriers to learning. It can be all across the board what those are. And then we have various supports and things that we could put in place for them. But those are two programs that I plan on maintaining here at Todd Lane. And then finally, as far as the culture goes, again, communicating with the teachers. Because I'm new and because I'm still learning myself, I haven't been asking a lot of questions yet, but I plan on asking the staff here probably around January. I'm going to send out a survey. And I just want to get some feedback from them on some things, because again, I want to do what makes sense for the teachers, because if they feel supported and if they feel like they can do their job properly, then that just means, all that means is, extra benefits for the students. Just some upcoming events that we have. So tomorrow our Penguin Patch begins. That's when students can come in and kind of do their shopping for Christmas. On the 8th, we'll begin our candy cane sale where students can buy candy canes at lunches. Oh, there it is. So on the 9th, they're having our parents' fair account set up.
But I'm asking more about how to use, because you say about messaging.
Yes.
I try to message and I don't know how to do it.
Oh, well, maybe we can look at that tonight.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's right here. So, on the 19th, don't tell anybody, but Santa is coming to visit Todd Lane. So he will be around with the fire department. The Center Fire Department brings him. It's really fun for the students. On the 22nd, the high school band will come and they play some holiday music and some Christmas carols for the kids. And then the 23rd, which is our last day before the break, it's a half day. That's the day that we'll have our holiday party. But these are all in the newsletter that I just posted to Parent Square. So that'll be a nice way to kind of keep track of all of our upcoming events. That's all I have. So thank you for coming. And you'll see here, I have copies of this. And like I said, this will also be on the website. So that's how you can get a hold of me. You can call the front office, you can email me, you can message me through Parent Square. And then I will send this home with you, again, because sometimes service in this building can be a little bit difficult, but this is a QR code that will take you to a survey. It's just 8 short questions. And again, I'm going to be getting feedback from my staff, but I'd like to get feedback from the families too on things that, you like about Todd Lane, things you'd like to see stay the same, and maybe some things you might like to see, done a little bit differently. So since it's just us, I'm going to turn off the recording.
Just to add something, my name is Sean McCurry, I'm the superintendent. First of all, thank you for coming. Unfortunately, we get on the greatest turnouts when we have parent